Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Neféli, and today I will be speaking to you on the topic on how AI is revolutionizing art. First, I'd like you to observe these two images right here. One out of the two is not made by AI, while the other is. So we'll do a vote. Those who think the one on the left is AI generated, raise your hands. And those who think, thank you. And those who think the one on the right is not AI generated, raise your hands. Okay. So the correct answer was the one on the right. It was made by the French painter Henri Le Soudanais, and it is called the Grand Canal Venise. The prompt for the AI was impressionist painting of a canal at night with the moonlight shining down on the water. It is that simple to create art these days with just a few words, knowing that in the past, and even now, it took months, sometimes even multiple years for artists to finish a painting, and now it takes less than 1 minute. Let's take, for example, this painting right here. Probably the most recognizable painting on this planet. It took Leonardo da Vinci 16 years to create. The one I showed you before, the canal, the AI-generated one, was made in 20 seconds. It was made by the company behind the tool I've used maybe once or twice for my homework, ChatGPT. So if any of my teachers are present today, I'd like to say sorry for that, and hopefully that does not cause any trouble. Now, how does this happen? How do you create an art piece from one sentence? Because we've all understood how to use it to our liking, but what's the magic behind it? In January 2021, the same company, OpenAI, released DALL-E, written D-A-L-L-E, a reference to the Spanish artist Salvador Dalí. To explain what DALL-E is, it's a text-to-image model, producing images based on prompts. So you send in a sentence, such as the one I mentioned previously with the canal, and the AI will respond with an image based on your prompt. It does so by gathering different chunks of art from trained artificial neural networks, composing an original image according to textual input provided in natural language. Now, it may seem like I just threw in a bunch of intellectual sounding words hoping they make a coherent sentence, but simply put, it's an AI algorithm that creates art based on a sentence while mimicking other artists' work from the web. So already by that last sentence, you can start to understand how controversial this sounds. So this brings us to the whole issue of originality and ownership, since everything uploaded online is a source of input for training data, which is basically just data used by AI that allows it to generate images. Numerous artists have been besieged by finding out their art has been used by generative AI, such as Midjourney or DALL-E, without their consent. Berkowski's name, the artist behind the game Dungeons & Dragons, has been used more times in AI than Leonardo da Vinci's. Here is an AI's take on Berkowski's artwork. So for those of you who know this game and this artist, it might look very similar to his usual artwork, but it is not the same. Lots of artists like Berkowski are fearful for their future, as many results of their art searched up on the internet show many AI-generated ones. Okay. There have been countless revolutions in art throughout our history. Take, for example, the discovery of red pigmentation that was used in the charging red bulls on the cave walls of Lascaux. So for those of you who are here in S1, this might ring a bell. And then there was the discovery of oil paintings in the 7th century, which is one of the most used art mediums to this day. My point is that whatever tools humankind has been given, we have been capable of creating tools which have incredible potential if used correctly. For the sake of this speech, let us imagine a little boy, we'll call him Timmy. Timmy struggles with expressing himself artistically, He doesn't really know how to draw a few stick figures and something that vaguely resembles to a horse. He then discovers AI and the possibilities it holds. So he starts experimenting with different programs such as Midjourney and DALL-E, and he finally manages to create a donkey. So not exactly a horse, but we're getting there. Thanks to artificial intelligence, Timmy is now an artist. He can express himself and transform his imagination into reality. And that is the ultimate. AI is beginning to push these imaginary boundaries on these imaginary boundaries we've created on what is considered true art. The beauty of art is that it's ever-changing, ever-growing. In a way, redefining what art is an art form itself, for we are creating nonetheless. AI is simply an extension of our creation, an aid to develop our own personal art that's come from our own personal mind. Art is a form of emotional expression. By creating, you display your inner feelings that cannot take the form of words. Machines, on the other hand, they are quite the opposite. Rationality and logic best describes them. Something that people tend to forget is that machines will never be able to rob you of your emotions. Every piece of art that has been made by machines previously was made by humans, hence the name artificial. Many are afraid of something unfamiliar. They fear for something they don't understand. But this exact kind of closed-mindedness is the antithesis of revolution. We need to embrace the new while keeping the old. So, something that we all agree on is that art and AI is an ever-changing and ever-growing tool, which has had and will continue to have a great impact on our society and culture. So yes, AI has revolutionized art. It has revolutionized our concept and perception of art. It has also revolutionized the practice of art, merging both human creativity with artificial memory. I say to you now as a young artist, open your minds. Do not restrict yourself to Van Gogh or Monet. I mean, they are good artists, but you can go beyond that. Dare to embrace these new revolutions, these new views, these new ideas. If it weren't for revolutions like these, we'd still be drawing bulls on the walls with the right implementation. AI is the pinnacle of art at the moment. Another great revolution that will join the ranks. It is up to you to define and shape how art will affect. No, it is up to you to define and shape how AI will affect art. Thank you.